welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast and YouTube show. I am Golden Duffy, your host, and I have a lot to say today. I am floating. So I thought, you know what? While I'm in this super high vibrational frequency energy, let me just pop on and do a quick little podcast to share everything that's been going on and all the downloads that I'm receiving and everything that I have for you today and the things that are upcoming that are going to be here to support you and to support you on your journey. And that's really why I even started this podcast, was to support your journey, because I felt like I had this message that was like burning through me that I needed to share. I needed people to know how powerful they are and how incredibly what an incredible blessing it is to be a human being on this incredibly spiritual experience. And if you only believe that you're human, you probably have never listened to this podcast before, because we are deeply, deeply, intensely spiritual, but we are also here for a human journey, right? We're here to explore it all and to express it all and to, go through the challenges and the traumas and all the things that we wanted to explore coming here as humans. We chose to come here. We are very masterful in our decision to come here. We came here because we wanted to explore and express, and not every soul gets to come to this earth school. So you should feel very honored. You should feel very blessed, and you should feel very good about yourself that you were one of the ones chosen to be here. So I guess we're going to start off in this deep, this deeply hard to put to words place, because that's where I'm at right now. So I've had a lot of things manifesting lately. It seems like this show is happening every couple of weeks, and the last couple of weeks have been really, really, really freaking cool. So I think the last show that I did was right before I went on my trip to Connecticut, and had manifested an interior design retreat. And let me just tell you, the retreat was so phenomenal and so fantastic. And I know she's going to do it again, so I'll make sure I get the links. And I would actually like to have her on, because she, House of Huck is her Instagram, and she actually left corporate America to become an interior designer with no experience, and built up an incredible business over the last 4 years, and had a lot of professionals in that field there representing for branding and marketing. I mean, it was like everything that I needed in starting a new endeavor, and gave me so much clarification, and there was so much support. In fact, every single woman I met, I said I felt like I was a little kid on the playground, and you were just meeting kids and you were instantly friends. Remember that? Like, you would just meet a kid on the playground, didn't even know their name, would play with them for an hour, and then they would just leave and you would leave, and you had a great time together. But that's what it felt like. It was like a sisterhood, and there was a couple of guys there too from Daniel House Club, which I'm really interested in. If you do any kind of design work, Daniel House Club is a hub for like 200 furniture vendors that you can sign up to be part of their program. And then you get an amazing discount as an interior designer to help people furnish homes. So that also was really beneficial. And the two founders of that company were there, two guys, Peter and Alex brothers, that were also hilarious and amazing. And it was such a good time. And then I had like my yummy time with my daughter. We rented an Airbnb in Milford, right on the beach. And it was chilly, Connecticut, Connecticut was, it's not always good to me with weather. And I think maybe it's about me appreciating where I live, which I don't really need much of that. But it was chilly and somewhat not too bad with the rain, usually downpours when I'm there, but it was 80 degrees the day that I left, and I kind of wanted to give Connecticut the middle finger for not giving me that weather when I was there. But here's a crazy thing that happened. So when I got there, it was Mother's Day. I flew all day Mother's Day to get to my daughter, and I just wanted to go out for pizza. And then I wanted to stop by my aunt's house, who it's her birthday, and a couple of my nieces and nephews were going to be there. So one thing about moving and building your dream life is you do leave family. And that's probably been the hardest thing, is that I do miss family and that love and that familiarity and, just familia, like, the dinners and just the time being with people that have known you for a really long time. So, we went out for pizza and I had this inspiration to message my a past client who's actually become a friend. She was one of the first people that I coached when I moved from Connecticut to California. And interestingly, she was from Connecticut. That's how she found me. And I coached her through a really bad divorce and watched her grow a business, which is called Rankin Sugar on Instagram, where she repurposes veteran war jackets and pants and things. And she has a really cool business. In fact, Cheryl Crow, Leanne Morgan, and Miranda Lambert, just to name a few, have bought her line. So she's amazing. She's built up an amazing business. So I just felt inspired. I haven't talked to her in like 6 months, just felt inspired to say, hey, happy Mother's Day. I'm so proud of you. And she asked me what I was doing, and I told her, and she's like, no way, I'm going to be in Connecticut this week. And we've never met. She lives in Tennessee and we've never met. So we were actually able to meet at Brimfield, which is a flea market that my daughter and I decided to go to, which is like her Super Bowl to collect all these things for her business. And we only got to spend 5 minutes together, but it was such a highlight. I'm so mad I didn't get a picture because it was like such a long time coming and we just got swept up in the moment and didn't take a picture. But I have a feeling she's going to visit California and we'll have some more time together, because it turns out she used to be an interior designer and still does it. So I'm like, okay, we need to talk, because I'm figuring this out, right? So that was amazing, and the whole trip was really great. And then I got back to home, just kind of coming out of jet lag. I'm still like falling asleep at we're in bed by like 8:30 right now. So my husband is doing this with me because I'm just done. So came back to a family. Really interesting. I haven't left my family in a long time. Like, I can't even tell you. Probably when my granddaughter was born, which was 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago. Yeah, she just finished third grade. I'm like, what? So yeah, that's probably the last time I've left my husband and my home without him, and came back to a clean house. And now, like, he's making the bed in the morning and helping me make his lunch. And I'm like, do I need to leave more often? I don't know. So it's really funny. But it was good. It's really good to be home and kind of get back into the swing of work and formulating exactly my plan moving forward, because I do still love my manifestation work. And I also am implementing this interior design. So helping people to marry this idea of having a beautiful home and a beautiful space actually creates better manifesting abilities in your life, because you are raising your frequency within your home or within your office, wherever it is. I have this blank wall right here. I think I've showed you guys this. It's still blank. I'm going to come up with a series for interior designers called The Blank Wall. Because I actually have, like, I don't know, 20 things in my cart right now with a website to get this wall situated. So I can't wait to share that when I do, because podcasting next to a blank wall it's just not me. It's just not where we're at. We love beautiful things and we love putting beautiful things on the wall. So that's coming. So enough of the update. Let me give you some of the downloads that have been coming, because I've been formulating. I had some things happen with a client, actually, that kind of sparked a new awareness within me about unworthiness and my value and things like that. And I had met with, this is actually a big remodel that we're doing. And I had met with these people, and originally they said they, didn't need a designer and they were going to work with their daughter. And then, over the course of me going to the meetings and meeting with them and showing my value, this woman actually expressed that she wanted to work with me. And then something happened, and I spent some time with her and we did some shopping, and then something happened, and I can't necessarily pinpoint what happened, but this was my process. And I want to explain, sometimes the downloads that we receive from different things that happened change change who we are and how we evaluate and perceive and judge things. So, so basically what happened was I went on a meeting and her daughters were there, and I definitely picked up that she wasn't going to hire me. And I was never able to do a proposal for her. Like, we didn't even get to the point where I could do a proposal for her. And, I kind of, I felt the energy, and she said to me, "I'm not going to use you." And I was like, "I got that. I could feel that, and it's fine." And I hugged her, and she's a lovely woman. And then, when I got back from my trip, my husband and I went there to shoot some content. And he said, "I have to tell you something. I've needed to tell you this, but I didn't want to tell you before you left because I actually had shingles. So I wasn't feeling good. And then I had a wedding to officiate, and then I was leaving for Connecticut the next day. So he didn't want to put that on my plate. I just wanted to let you know that she actually did hire a different designer." And I went through all the feels. Like, I felt punched in the stomach, and my husband was very upset about it. His plumbing contractor was also very upset about it. And who's a good friend of mine. My husband and I actually officiated his son's wedding. And that felt like, oh, yummy. Like, I have support and I have love. And my husband was trying to protect me from information because he knows that sometimes I can really get down about stuff like that. Like, that I am human and I do get triggered. I do have like wounds that get triggered. So I sat with it for a few days and went through all the things, like being up one night thinking about it, and wondering what I did wrong, and feeling like that rejection and feeling the abandonment. And I, I journaled about it, and then I connected it to feelings of, my biological family. I connected it to a project that I did, this big podcast. If you remember, I did a podcast room, and towards the end of that project, I was kind of pulled off of it and never really told why. Went through all the feels with that, and really just processed like what this means to me. So I was sitting with a friend the other day. I'm going to have him on the podcast because he is so amazing and has such cool story, really cool, like, mindset tricks and things. And he was talking to me about it. I was like, yeah, I had a wound that was triggered. And he was like, no, I don't want you to think about it like that. He's like, what if you thought about it as it's just a loop, right? Like, it's just a loop that gets triggered, and all you have to do is like interrupt that loop. So he told me how to do it, and I'm not going to share it right now because I'm going to have him on and he can share his process and the things that he promotes in his business. But he really wanted me to connect with her, and he wanted me to have a call with her to find out exactly what happened for my own feedback purposes. And he was like, this life is all about feedback, and the more feedback we can get, the more we can refine our processes. So I thought about that and actually thought, yeah, I'm going to text her and I'm going to ask her if I can get the feedback of why she didn't use me. And then I got the downloads. Okay. Love the downloads, because now I do not feel one even shred of needing to connect with this woman to find out what she didn't like about me. Okay. So the download that I got was this. She was extremely concerned with blowing her budget, right? They have a big budget. This is a big remodel. It's like a whole home, not the kitchen, but like a whole home remodel. And it's a big budget. And she was very concerned about blowing that budget. And it's her fear, right? Her fear is that she's going to blow the budget. So then I started thinking about things where she buys things in bulk, and then we were getting rid of a lot of the stuff. I actually helped her pack to move to get out of the house. Like, this is how committed I've been to like making this project go smoothly. Totally for free, like volunteered my services. So we were actually trying to get rid of all this bulk items, because she's like, I buy in bulk to try to save money, but then I forget that I bought it. So I keep buying more. So she's actually spending more money. So she's trying to save money, but she keeps spending money because her fear is that she's not saving money, right? So she ends up hiring this designer who now has completely blown her budget. She has added things to the project that were not there before, which I would have never done. I am, yes, a designer, and I would love to see my designs to come to life, but being in the construction industry with my husband and having a construction business, one of the things that we promote is we protect your budget. We are very careful about going over people's budgets unless they give us the okay. we really try to work to make sure that people stay within the framework of what they wanted to spend, right? Like, we don't want to be those people that blew their budget. People blow their budgets all the time, but it's not because of us. It's because they change their mind and they want what they want. So all of a sudden I get this download like, wow, law of attraction in action. She was most fearful that she was going to blow her budget. And if she worked with me, she wouldn't have. And your fears are what, right? They come true. Like, what your frequency is, like, underneath it all, no matter what you say, that's what comes true. So it's really good to connect with your fears and to dissipate them. When you face your fears, you actually dissipate them immediately. That's how to dissipate fears. Look at your fear, because fear is always false evidence appearing real, right? And her having such a large budget, it would be hard for her to blow the budget, but also easy when you're working with someone who's not respecting your budget, which is exactly what happened. So once I came to that realization and had that download about it, I thought, I don't need to talk to her. I don't need to hear what issue or what challenge she had with me, because it had nothing to do with me. I, through the whole process, was real and authentic, and also was recognizing and being really respectful of her budget. And to the point that I gave some of my time away for free, which I will not do anymore. Like, end of that. Because that's also part of like a worthiness thing. And again, people say they have a budget, but they want what they want. And, you know, they'll take your time if you volunteer it. So that's a boundary setting thing for me. So that's another lesson that I learned. So when it comes to law of attraction, when it comes to your own journey and what you're learning and what you're gaining as information to continue on your road of growth, it's really important to look at the whole scope of it, right? To look at, okay, where are my wounds? What has been triggered, right? There's a thought process that has been triggered here, right? Like, I felt a little stupid. I felt like I was a little too personal with her. Like, I got kind of personal, because that's kind of what I do, because I'm very authentic and I share who I am. And I also really like to connect with people and resonate with people. So I might get deep, and I felt like I had the allowance to do that with her. And I don't think that that's the reason why she didn't hire me. I don't think that has anything to do with it. And it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not making up stories. I'm done making up stories, because I processed whatever the trigger was, and then I made a decision. So I woke up the next morning, I got this download, and I thought, I know who I am. I know how awesome I am. Like, that's not even egotistical. I know what I bring to the table. I know design. I know color. I know how to put things together. I know how to help you to figure out what you want, whether you feel confused or not. I know how to design for your taste. The other thing is, her taste was not my taste. So she wasn't right for me. And one of the things that I learned at the retreat is, you're looking for the no's to get through the no's faster so you can get to the yeses. So every person is not your person. And in the beginning of starting a business, I do feel like I've had a little bit of like desperation. Like, I want to do this so bad. And I want to prove that I went to school and I paid all that money to go to school. You know, there's all these things. I have this beautiful office that I would love to pay for, all those things. And fully integrating myself in my husband's construction company is like my dream, right? To be working side by side with him. That's a dream we've had for a long time. But to let go of the desperation of that, because there are people out there who are going to connect with me and love my work and want to. In fact, we have a small bathroom remodel we're doing right now. And these people are like, you're the expert. And I love that. Like, this is my design with their personal preferences, right? Of course, I asked them what they wanted, but it's like finally a point where it's like truly my design. Like, I've picked out everything with them and gave them the samples, and now we'll put that together and I'll be able to share that in my portfolio. But that, it takes time to build that rapport with people, but also, what are people reflecting to me? When I was talking to her, that would have been my very first big remodel. So maybe I wasn't there yet. Maybe I didn't think I could handle it. I don't know. But the cool thing, I think, in stepping into a new career, if that's what you're thinking about doing, is that we all have intuition and we all have a connection to our source. And that connection is what's going to foster your brilliance in any career that you're doing or any career you're thinking that's, got a desire on your heart. So no matter how new you are, there may be, pitfalls and things that you need to experience to get the experience to have the confidence, but also having the confidence that you do have this expression, you do have this channel to connect with, and that everything is figure outable. Somebody said that in the seminar, and I was like, everything is figure outable. It is. And when you have that attitude, then you find the solutions. The people come in that support you. And right now I have like this amazing tile guy, and him and I will talk about the direction of the tile and what he thinks, because he's literally an expert in that field. He's been laying tile for a long time. So if I think that the tile should go this way and he thinks the tile should go that way, I'm going to talk to him about his reasoning and we're going to come to an agreement, which is exactly what just happened. So not to just like put this whole conversation on interior design, but design of your life, right? What is the design of your life? What are you designing in your life? How you're feeling, the signal that you're sending out, the way that you're feeling about yourself, everything in your outer world is going to reflect that. So when I sit back and I think about those first conversations with that woman, I can see how I wasn't standing in my power, that I still needed to clean up some things in this new career to feel confident. Like, I'm so confident in the manifestation world. Like, I can spitball with a scientist about this stuff because I'm so, I've been studying it for so long. I've been getting downloads for so long. It's like, I'm super confident. So you're going to be super confident in one thing. And then when all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to do a new thing. Just like going to school kind of brought me to my knees a little bit. It's going to expand and grow you more. And you're going to have more awareness around your strengths and what, like, maybe this is very specific to me, but I believed I couldn't do math and I believed I couldn't draw as a kid. And I totally blew that belief out of the water by taking architectural drafting. Was it easy? Heck no. But did I accomplish something that made me really proud? Yes. Now I can draw, I can do math. Those things are not blocks for me. And that's a true gift in honing, more abilities, more capabilities in your life, so that you're not just like stuck in this like one lane road, which might actually make you feel like your soul is dying, or like you're not, that you're really bored with your life. I highly recommend doing something different to expose you, right? To get you out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone is like one of the best ways. It's like, as soon as I feel scared to do something, I know I have to do it. Like, even going to Connecticut, because it's been so long since I actually traveled alone. Like, this is hilarious. I go into the airport. So my husband drives me to LAX, drops me off right at the door. I walk in the door, and my husband is like the travel king. So he does everything. He books my flight. He puts my sticker on my luggage. He tells me where to go. I follow him around. I booked my own flight this time, and I walked in and did the little machine and put the sticker on my luggage. And one of the employees of the airline walks over and he's like, yeah, you did that wrong. And I was like, yeah, I kind of figured I did. And we got a good laugh about it. He's like, yeah, your luggage handle is going to be real sticky. So he undid it and did it right for me. And we had a good laugh about it. And, I found my way to my gate and everything was fine, but out of my comfort zone. I haven't, and guys, I've been traveling on my own since I was 15. Like, I used to go 14. I used to go from Connecticut to Arizona by myself, switch planes because my parents wouldn't drive me to JFK to get a straight flight. I did do a straight flight this time because I was like, I'm not changing planes. I'm not dealing with that. So I went from LAX to JFK. But I would do that at age 14. So it's not like this is something I've never done before, but it's something I haven't done in a very long time. So getting out of your comfort zone and doing those things that are uncomfortable actually promotes your growth. It promotes your expansion. So whatever that is for you, find a way to do it. Find a way to do things different. Do different things like grow, expand, become more. The process is what actually takes you into new levels of your soul's journey here. It's the process. And another really deep and strong awareness lately that has been coming like full force in my experience is the notion that every single challenge, everything you're going through, every experience is such a gift. You know, whether it's like experiencing shingles or if it's experiencing extreme financial pressure, scaling a business, if it's taking care of an elderly parent, or like to get the most out of those experiences, right? Like raising kids. Oh my God, full circle moment. I actually have to post this on Facebook. This is so funny. So yesterday, my daughter, so my granddaughter is 8. She's just finishing 3rd grade. My daughter asks me if I could draw up her chore chart from when she was little. Now, she is the one who I actually had gone to see like a psychologist, like a child psychologist for this child because she was extreme. She was intense. She was spirited. I had no idea how to deal with her. And I felt like I was doing it all wrong. So I actually saw a child psychologist. His name was Dr. Hool in Connecticut. I believe he's passed. He was quite old when I would sit with him. And he had this behavioral chore chart that I actually took from him. And it was the best chore chart I ever did with my kids. It was so awesome. In fact, I'm going to create like I'll do it like on a spreadsheet. And if people are interested in it, I'm going to share it because it's really effective if you're a parent of kids, I think any age. I might need to put my 20-year-olds on this. Actually, they're doing really good since I went away. So might just need to go away more. So full circle moment because she was the kid who had the biggest stink about this chore chart, but it was so effective. So I create this chore chart yesterday and I'm chuckling and I send it to her. I send her a picture of it. My husband's looking at it. He's like, did you just draw this? I'm like, yeah, I just drew it. And she goes, she just responds PTSD. And I just cracked up. I'm like, what a full circle moment for this mom. It's like going through it with my kids, looking for every possible way to refine my parenting journey so I can stop yelling at them. And the one thing that like is the coolest thing about this chore chart is you basically give a point system for each chore. And if they don't do it, you circle it and you don't say a word. That's the hardest part about this chore chart. And it's going to be hard for her because she definitely tends to like threaten my granddaughter and give a lot of chances and, super like total waste of energy. So this chart, you're supposed to just walk up to it, circle it, walk away, don't say a word. And then at the end of the week, there's like, they have to have a certain amount of points to be able to do certain things. And it could be like going out for ice cream. I tried not to put things too much like food as treats. But even like picking an activity for the family for the day or little things like that, or extra reading time at night or whatever it is that's currency to your child. And you deduct the circles and then that's their points. So it really does make them want to do things. And her daughter is going to do great with it. She really loves that kind of like reward system. And, there may be days when she yells at her mom about it and her mom will remember how that felt. And maybe she'll deal with it better than I did. But hilarious. I'm not sure why I shared that, but I guess there was a reason. Upcoming on, I've been I've been doing some social media. We've been doing some reels on Instagram. Me have been doing some reels on Instagram and TikTok. And if you don't follow me, it's Live Life Golden on both things. And it does go on my Facebook too, which is Golden Duffy. I also have a Golden Interiors on Instagram that I'm just starting to build. But I am getting ready to launch a group coaching situation again, and I have not done that in quite a few years. And if you have worked with me in the past, I'm going to give you a past member kind of discount. But I'm going to open this up, and it'll be, I think, like once a week. We'll hop on a Zoom. And it's just literally going to be like a teaching of whatever. It's not going to be formal. It's just going to be like me, kind of like this podcast, just sharing the things that are coming through and then connecting on like a Q&A situation and then doing a little energy release activity at the end to release energy within the group. So it'll be an energy transference. It'll be energy release work and Q&A. So it'll be, specific to you. And the interesting thing that happens, like when you bring a collective of people together, is we all learn and grow from one another. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I haven't done this in a long time, probably since like maybe COVID. I actually ran some group coaching for years and just felt like I needed to take a break from it. And now that I have, I actually kind of tuned in this morning to what that desire was about, because I'm wearing a lot of hats and I'm doing a lot of things and I'm super duper busy. But like, I want to do this. I want to connect with people. I want to answer questions. I want to look at your vibration and tell you what the gap is in your alignment to what you are looking to desire. I want to help people realize more dreams, and I want to help people turn off the bad news and alchemize to the light. Like, we are all alchemists. We can all and that's what this conversation is even about. Looking at your challenges and transforming them, alchemizing them to the lesson so that you're not stuck in the trauma, you're not stuck in the confusion, and you're not stuck in that like rabbit hole. I thought about the rabbit hole a lot because it's quite easy for me to go, or was in the past really easy for me to go down the rabbit hole. And my husband is such a beautiful, amazing man who knows this about me. And he's seen me, at my highest, but also at my lowest. And that's why he waited to tell me. And it was really hard on him. He was really stressed and I didn't know why. And of course, kind of started to make up stories myself about what was going on with him. And then to find out that it was something that was, kind of potentially hurtful to me and could have had me go down the rabbit hole of I'm not good enough. And for the 2 days that I was processing this, it wasn't very long. It was like Sunday to, my gosh, Tuesday. It was really short. I was good by Monday night. I could feel it right there. Like, I could feel the rabbit hole right here. And if you've ever had a supercharged experience, right? Like a fight with someone or a breakup with someone or something really charged, emotionally charged in your experience, it can be really easy to get swept into that roller coaster ride of loops, right? Like those patterns and loops of wherever you go, whether it's like most of us, it's like not being good enough or not being worthy or feeling stupid or whatever that is. And because it was right here, and it would have been very easy for me to go into it, which I did for like a few minutes, I realized that I'm not that person anymore, that I'm not the person that so easily steps into the rabbit hole and then has to take 3 or 4 days to get out of it. I'm not that person anymore. And that was probably the most victorious thing that came out of this. Now, am I like completely excused from the rabbit hole for the rest of my life? Probably not. I'm not going to kid myself and say that I am. But the truth is, with all things, I have the ability to process. And you do as well. You have the ability to process. I'm going to say you have the ability to get your own downloads and your own channeling about whatever's going on with you. You have the ability to follow your intuition. How cool is that? To be able to look up animals and totems that are coming you, to be able to look up like illnesses. If you've had an illness, the spiritual meaning of shingles was very interesting. I don't know if I shared that, but it was like anger, resentment, not having boundaries. And that was definitely going on in my life with my kids, and feeling like they were coming in and, taking my stuff in my room and taking showers in my shower and leaving their stuff everywhere. And my kids are great, but there needed to be some refinement in our home. I'm working a lot now. So for me to come home and have to take care of the home on top of everything else I'm doing, when people aren't working as hard as I am, was really exhausting me. So makes sense I got shingles. There was also my husband had shoulder surgery. I was shouldering a lot of the responsibilities there, and adding on these new clients, and adding on and adding on and adding on my daughter's wedding, and 2 bathroom remodels in our home where I had to fight for every design piece that I wanted in there. There was so much going on. So the shingles showing up really made me go, okay, I get it. And I have to say, I'm now 4 weeks out, I think, but like 3 weeks out, I'm pretty much good. I think they're still there. My rash has almost completely healed. But I'm not feeling sick anymore. I really wasn't feeling tremendously sick, but I did have some low energy and had to work in my husband's recliner in his office for a few days and just kind of be gentle with myself, which isn't always easy when you got a lot of things to do and a lot of things on your plate. All right. So I am over time today. I committed to my 30-minute podcast, but have a lot of things to say. I got a lot of things to share. And I feel so blessed that there's people that still listen to this, even though it's somewhat sporadic. And I still get messages from people that this show makes a difference. And that's why I'm here. There's a song by James Taylor, and it's called That's Why I'm Here. And I really relate to that song. I really do, because that feeling that I got in my meditation about sharing another forum to connect with people makes me feel like I get that connection to my fulfillment and my soul purpose. And I love doing design. I love working with my husband. I love the people that I connect with, and even the wisdom that I channel through my design work, but also keeping this manifestational pathway still alive really just makes me feel like I can have my cake and I can eat it too. That's what it feels like, because like to have this baby and to have this, leave the baby and abandon the baby that I've been working on. This podcast is almost 4 years old, 3 years old, 4 years. I think it's 4 years. I have over 200 episodes. So of me just talking. I am going to have some guests this coming soon. I've got a couple of people that I really want to bring on. So that'll be something to look forward to. And, I'll be back at some point when I feel inspired and when this energy is running through me and I can't keep it to myself anymore. That's when I'll be back. You can also follow me on Facebook. I always have posts there. I've got a bunch of books on Amazon. You can look up, Mindful Manifestation Secrets, Mindful Manifestation Secrets, Daily Guide and Journal, Quantum Speak for Parents. That's my parenting book. And The Perfect Expansion for your soul's evolution. Yeah, I always forget the title. That title came to me so clearly, and now I just have a hard time grasping it to share it. But you can look for those on Amazon, and you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok is probably where I'm going to launch those, the group coaching, which probably will take place within a week or two once I get it all dialed in. And the price is still somewhat up in the air, but going to make it doable for people. And also, when I did my first coaching, group coaching, I charged a good amount. And then the people that worked with me continued, and this is in a subscription model, which is what I'm going to launch this as a subscription model, because they said it was like their therapy. Like they said this was like what they needed to expand and grow and create new awareness. So if you think about it that way, then the cost really can be offset because, you know, we all need a little help. We all need a little support. I got my people, and I want to offer that to you as well. So that is my show for today. Peace out.